Yo, yo, back with another episode on Friday. It's your boy Roos. We are riding solo again. Coach Trey is on a business trip this weekend, so he'll be out, and we're back with another episode. I'm gonna try and make this a maybe a weekly thing. Just going over my betting card, what I like for the weekend. Last week went 1-3 with picks, however, broke even as far as wagering. My favorite bet won. Put 3 units on that, so did break even for the weekend, and we'll kind of keep that same structure going. We'll find 4 or 5 games we like every week, and uh, we'll save the best for last. That'll be the three times the 3 unit wager. My favorite bet of the weekend, and we'll just keep track of this and see if we can make some noise this year. Just with being smart, being sharp, and trying to make some bets. So let's get it started. We'll go with a personal favorite of mine. Not wagering my 3 units on this, but it will be something I'm very interested in. We'll pay close attention to at 11 a.m. We've got the Tulane Green Wave going to ULL, the Raging Cajuns. 11 a.m. kick time. Tulane's 1-2, but they've played both Kansas State and Oklahoma. And they've played them pretty well, in my opinion. And that's kind of the theme I'm leaning with. I think they're a good ball club. Not taking anything away from ULL, but Tulane minus 1.5, barely. I mean, it's basically a pick 'em. Money line minus 120. I'm gonna lock in the money line for Tulane here, minus 120. You can take the minus 1.5. I feel pretty confident that they'll win by at least a field goal. I just think Tulane's got the better athletes, and they've got way more experience against good teams. ULL has, they played Kennesaw State 134-10. They played Grambling 140-10. That's their first 2 games. Look, I get it. 2-0, have a lot to be happy about over there. It's just, to me, I think Tulane could arguably be a top 25 team by the end of the season once they get into conference play. I think they're just that good. So give me Tulane on the money line here, minus 120. Maybe the Raging Cajuns prove me wrong, but I just don't see a world where Tulane loses this game, especially coming off of a heartbreaker to Kansas State where they should have won at home, and then uh, didn't look great against Oklahoma, but they were within 15 points. So I think they'll win this game straight up. Give me Tulane minus 120. Let's go to the next game, and this seems to be my favorite team I've faded this year, and that's Rice going to Army. Another 11 a.m. kickoff here. Rice single-handedly cost me a parlay week 1 to Sam Houston. I think Rice was like a minus 280, minus 300 favorite. Heard a lot of good things coming out from the offseason on them, and you just really haven't seen it yet. They had a good win against Texas Southern, 69-7, but lost to Sam Houston by 20. Got handled by Houston, 33-7 last week, and you get an Army at home. Spread opened at -4, and it's been juiced all the way to -7. And I feel good about taking -6.5, -130. Uh, that's another good bet I like this week. Army's 2-0. They have that same style of football where they're just going to run right up your throat, man, and they're going to control the game. I just don't see a world where unless Rice can continue to break off some big plays here and there, I just don't see how they're going to get anywhere close to winning this game. Only that, and then covering the 7 points. So give me 6.5 for Army. I think they'll win this game by 10 to 12 points. Hopefully they win by more than that, but I just think Army has that play style. And Rice, it might be one of those random teams I follow this year that absolutely cost me and sold week 1, that they might just be a team I just continue to fade. So give me Army. Give me the -6.5 there. An interesting game here. Arkansas on the road against Auburn. Both of these teams are 2-1. Both opening game for the conference in the SEC. Interesting routes by both teams to get to 2-1. So Arkansas won their first game 70-0 against a D2 team. Very impressed. I don't think Arkansas has put up 70 in a game in a long time. Could be wrong. Don't check me on that like ABC. Um, Oklahoma State looked very good against Oklahoma State. Lost a heartbreaker in double overtime that game, but they sold that game. They lost, should have won pretty handily, and then they beat UAB 37-27. Auburn also put a 70 spot up in week one. Lost a heartbreaker to Cal, even though I wouldn't say it's a heartbreaker, but they lost by a touchdown there, and then they beat New Mexico 45-19. I was looking back at this game, I saw the total, and it's 56.5. It opened at 58.5. So little bit of juice going towards the under. But I look back historic, I'm like, is this a game that typically goes around that number or not? I was thinking it was going to go under. But in the last 4 years, it's cleared this number pretty easily. There's been some high scoring affairs in these games. Last year, I think it was a beatdown one way or the other. I'll have to go double check what that was, but let me go do that while we're here. I think Auburn beat them pretty bad last year, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Yeah, they won 48-10 last year. And I believe, I don't know if that was the game that KJ got hurt. Um, KJ didn't, it looks like he might have got hurt that game. I don't remember. I was shocked because that was at Arkansas. So you have a couple of different angles here. You have a revenge spot for that for Arkansas. Arkansas has looked good and they're putting up, over 31 a game. I think you'll get to this number at 56.5. I like the over here. I'm taking the over. I think we might get one of those close games where it's like 37-27, 36-28, something like that, where it gets, and maybe we get to overtime territory where if you fall just short, like 24-24 or 27-27, you can get over the hump with overtime there. I like the over here. So give me over 56.5. A team that has moved to my shit list officially is Florida State, 0-3 this year. Just for some reason, I thought they were going to come out and dog walk last year, and then Memphis handily beat them 20-12. They've got to bench DJ Ukulele, man. I feel like they're going to continue to believe in this guy. I hate this for the kid. I think he was upwards when he went to Oregon State last year. He was starting to make a name for himself and compete. I don't know if this is a talent issue across the board for the Seminoles. I doubt that. They're just that good of a program. I don't know. Maybe they had a lot of transfers out because of I know they lost a lot of talent from the team last year, right? That went to the pros. They had a really good team last year, but you shouldn't be losing to Georgia Tech. You shouldn't be losing to Boston College, and you shouldn't be losing to Memphis. So there's an issue here, right? Cal's beaten Auburn, who we just talked about, San Diego State as well, and obviously this game is in Florida State at Florida State, but Memphis was at Florida State last week too, and look what happened. So you're giving me a 3-0 Cal team, and you're giving me a field goal. I mean, all day. Give me that all day. I think it's currently at 2.5 right now. I think you can buy a point and get the 3.5 at -130. Do that all day, man. I'm gonna continue to fade this team. They're like Rice, in my opinion. I feel like after game two, you go 0-2, and it's like okay. Game three, you wake up and you finally get this thing rolling, and then it just didn't happen. I think you're going to continue to see that until they bench DJ Ukulele. So give me Cal and a field goal or plus 3.5. I'm going to lock in plus 3.5. Take the little juice, man. It's worth it because who knows? They'll probably backdoor you in the end. And finally, we'll close with this. My favorite play of the week. It's my 3-unit whale, as I call it. Obviously bet responsibly. So keep your unit sizes the way you like it. Georgia Southern versus Ole Miss, number 5, in Hotty Toddy Land. Ole Miss is that good this year. And you know what's scary? Their defense so far through the season has only allowed 9 points in 3 games. And you're gonna argue, they didn't play anyone. Well, they played Wake Forest, okay, and they gave up 6 points, and that was on the road. Wake Forest isn't, they're not killers over there, but the fact that they held them to 6 points is impressive because one of the knocks for Ole Miss was their defense. They got into a lot of street fights, a lot of those games where they had to outscore their opponent and win in the last second. So with a really good defense this year, they could be a scary team in the SEC and potentially the playoffs. So you get them at 3-0. Georgia Southern's at 2-1. They uh they played Boise State, put up 45 against Boise State in a loss. Beat Nevada 20-17 and South Carolina State 42-14. I don't think any of that matters. We're gonna really bet on Ole Miss's defense here. The number is 34 and a half, so it's a lot. Um, but to me, I mean, I feel like this game could get ugly. There's not really a look ahead spot because Ole Miss plays Kentucky next week. So not like one of those trap games. They might be coming off of an impressive showing against Wake Forest, but to me, I think we get and Lane Kiffin knows, man. Lane Kiffin knows he's one of those degenerates that you just love as a football player. I really do. Nothing on Brian Kelly, but I wish he would come to LSU. Just because it's just a guy we can relate to. He's cool, he's funny, had a sense of humor, and I think he's going to be paying attention to this line a little bit, not fully, right? But I think we're going to get this relatively easily. Minus 34 and a half, 5 touchdowns. We're just going to trust in this defense to hold them to under 10. If they hold them to under 10, I like our chances of scoring 45 points. Obviously, can this team score 50, 60? Yeah, you don't want to have them do that in a game where you're putting 3 units on it, but they're capable of doing it. They put up 76, they put up 52, and they put up 40 against one of the better teams in comparison to the competition here. So give me Ole Miss minus 34 and a half, and that's the card, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't live. This is a recorded segment. We're going to post this around 6 o'clock Central Time on Friday, September 20th. It's 4:51 September 20th right now. So we're going to get this out to you so you can get your betting cards in. Like I said, we're even on the year with we lost every game, but we won our max. So that puts us right even, 1-3. So we're going to keep track of this. We're going to do this every Friday and hope we can come out positive, and make this a series. So, best of luck to anyone gambling this weekend on the games. Drop a comment on some of your favorite plays this weekend, and I'll definitely maybe put a little parlay together for any of the comments that are left, and we can go from there. So, everyone have a good weekend, and we will see y'all